Why, hello. I'm sending this to you because you should be getting your makeup very soon, if not already today. So I'm just preparing you for what to expect, how to put it on, any kind of issues you may have, and just how to handle it. So you will get your compact and you'll get your typically 4 shades, if not more, your 2 highlight colors, a darker and a lighter. And the reason I do that is because not everyone's face is one main color all over typically. So see, I've got some darkness and then I'm lighter right here. Just everyone's got darker and lighter areas of their face. So this will just help with that. A contour and a lip and cheek color, which would be like your blush and your lips. And then I may have even given you a color corrector if you have a lot of redness or acne, and I'll show you how to use that. And of course there's bronzer. I'll show you how to use that too if you got bronzer. But let's get started. So you just open your tins up. The little tins there, they slide right open. And you just place them right into your compact. The order doesn't matter. I just put mine in the order I use them, but totally up to you how you put them in. No right or wrong. So I'm gonna start off with the color corrector called Aspen. It's a contour color that is used to color correct redness. So I'm gonna use it right here and on any kind of darkness I have. So like even right around my cheeks is a little red and brown. I'm gonna use it on that. So if you've got color corrector, you'll do it first and very lightly. Let me also start off by saying, make sure your skin is exfoliated and moisturized. That's so huge. I don't moisturize in the morning before I put my makeup on. I moisturize at night, but that just works best for me. But exfoliation is huge, especially around your nose, between your eyebrows. There's a lot of dead skin that builds up right there and right here. And if you put your makeup on and you've not exfoliated, that dry skin is just gonna look patchy. So if you look patchy, 2 things. Either you need to exfoliate or your color is too light and we need to go darker. So if you've exfoliated and it's still patchy, let me know. We'll get you a shade darker. But okay, so now that that's out of the way, I'm going to just cover this redness up lightly with the color Aspen. I'm just gonna take my brush. I'm using the buff brush here. You can use any of the brushes you got. You just dab it. I'm just gonna dab into the Aspen, and it's not gonna look like it's doing much at first, but when I go on with my main color over it, you'll notice it just cancels the red out. So it's just kind of a color theory, color science. You know, reds cancel out greens and so forth. So now it's not magic. It's not gonna erase the bumps, but it does take the redness away, which is nice. Alrighty, I'm just light layer. You don't want anything too cakey or a lot. So like even my nose is a little red around here. If I wanted to, I could put it right here around my nose. A little red here on my cheeks. Anywhere you've got some redness. Now, your main colors will take care of any kind of minor redness you have. So if you didn't get Aspen and you just have a little bit of redness like I'm covering right here, your main color will take care of that. So don't worry about that at all. Okay, so now we're moving on to just doing your main makeup that you've got. So if you didn't need to color correct, we're on here for you now. Okay, I'm gonna start off with my main highlight. And what that is, like I said, you typically will get 2. So you've got a darker and a lighter. And if you're not sure which is which, just message me. I will let you know. I can definitely let you know. But we're gonna go in with our darker first. And whichever brush you've got. If you've got the blush brush, I usually just take the smaller end. If you've got the 30-second hack brush, I get this little fluffy round end. You could use whatever end you want, to be honest, but that's just what I do. I'm just gonna dab it. You don't wanna swipe. You don't want too much. If you need to use your fingers here in the first few days to make sure you don't get too much, that's a great way to do it. A lot of people will just take their finger and dot and then blend. And that's great because it pretty much assures you're not gonna use too much. If you don't wanna use your fingers, just take your brush and dab. Do not swipe. It's so pigmented, a little goes a long way. All right, so I'm gonna do right here. I'm gonna leave my cheek areas bare because that's where our contour is gonna go, plus our lip and cheek. And especially where you went over with that Aspen, which don't worry, we'll blend that out here so it's not gonna look crazy. But where you went over with the Aspen, dab more than swipe, because you don't want to move that color corrector away. Alrighty. Under your eyes, this is a trick, or not really a trick, but under your eyes, you don't want to go in full on with your lighter color like you see in most like YouTube videos, or just a lot of the influencers go down here with this bright color. That's going to highlight your darkness, and you don't want that. You want to cover your darkness first. So you're going to go in actually with your darker color under your eyes, as crazy as that sounds, and you'll see. So the darker will cover the dark circles. Now, if you don't have dark circles, then don't worry about this step. But see, look at that. Now I'm going to go in a minute and brighten it. So just stick with me. All right. So leaving the cheek alone. Don't put nothing on the cheek unless you do have like a lot of redness or scarring or acne that you need to cover. Even then, you could leave it alone because the contour has coverage too. Alrighty, leaving the nose alone as well. Moving to the forehead, I'm going to leave up here blank because that's where the contour is going to go. I'm going to leave right here blank because that's where my lighter color is going to go. Now, if you was to fill it in with this, not the end of the world. It just kind of, we don't want to have a cakey look. We don't want to put too much product. Just using it as little as possible. Plus that saves you product. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about blending right now. We're just getting everything where it needs to go. Okay, so I've got my main color where it needs to go. So basically leaving the cheeks open, the nose open, the T-zone open. And you know, I sometimes put this on the tops of my eyes as like a primer for my eyeshadow. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my contour. Same brush. If you're using a 30-second hack brush, you could just use this fluffy end still. You could use the pointy end and kind of squeeze it to make it small. You could use your finger. Really, the options are endless. Okay, I'm going to use the 30-second hack brush. And I'm using indigo. It doesn't matter, you know, just whatever contour you have. It's very dark and scary. Just going to dab it in there. So feel for your cheekbone. You don't want to go too low because you want our face to be lifted. And what we're doing is we're accentuating our shadows already there. So see, there's already a shadow naturally there. So we're just accentuating that. So right up against your cheekbone. Right up against it. Just press that right there. Don't go past the corner of your eye. And there it is. So I'm just going to leave that there for a second. And you can go darker. Sometimes I go darker. Just depends on the day. All right, same thing over here. Feel for your cheekbone. And your first time, you may not, you may be too scared to put a lot, and that's fine. I was. But you will learn that this makes all the difference in making your face look good. Okay. Let me equal those out there. Okay. So there's that. And then we're going to do our forehead. And the forehead, you just kind of go at the hairline and bring down to your temple. If you have a larger forehead, you can bring that down some. And that will make your forehead not look as large. Alrighty. Basically, contour helps just create shadows. So it's really just a mind game. All right. So there's that. And now we're going to do our nose. No, let's do our jaw first. Okay. This is optional. But see the shadow already there? We're just going to accentuate it. So right up against your jawbone, not on the side, right up here underneath. And I don't do nothing too crazy here. Alrighty, and then right here on this side, just don't forget to blend it out. I forget to blend it out sometimes, and my husband looks at me like I'm crazy. Okay, now it's like a joke. Like I always ask him, is it blended? Are we good? Okay, see, that just creates a nice jawline. Now we're gonna do our nose. You can use the brush. If you do, I will flip it to this smaller pointy end. Just dab lightly into it. You want it, I imagine corners. So you want to do it right here on the top corners of your nose. The closer together, the smaller your nose looks. So it just depends on how small you want your nose to look. Just right there. it won't be perfect every time. And that looks kind of crazy right there. Like, what did you do? But just hang with me. Okay, so that's all the contour. Now we're gonna go in with our lighter color I gave you, your lighter highlight. And this is just to brighten everything up. So I'm gonna use my finger for this for most of it. I'm just gonna dab my finger, literally just dabbing. I'm gonna take right there on the top corner going up, because this gives you an eye lift. Because under your eyes, you don't want a lot of product. That creates creasing. You can see fine lines. It looks cakey because the skin is so thin under your eyes. As little product is best for under your eyes. And so I'm gonna bring that down here to the, so inner corner, outer corner. That's what we do, okay? And then dab your finger and then go down the middle of your nose here. And then right here, like I mentioned, we left this blank earlier because we're gonna put that there. I usually put some right here. And I usually put a little bit right here. Okay. Now, I don't do this, but you can. And some people have to. It just depends on your neck and your chest. So if you have a lot of dark areas on your face, I gave you a darker color to help blend in with that darkness. And I could do it because my neck is a little more pale and my chest is. If you feel like from here to here, the transition is drastic, which I usually just use bronzer. You can use bronzer to blend it all together because your chin shadows your neck. So your neck's always gonna be a little more pale. But if you don't use bronzer, go in with your lighter color and I'll show you here. Let me blend this all first and then I'll show you. All right, so I'm just gonna blend this all in now. You don't want to blend it out, so just lightly make sure everything's kind of don't blend your contour out. You want it to stay there and look nice and chiseled. Make sure you do blend the chin out. Okay. So let me tell you what I was gonna tell you. Okay. So if you feel like this, you don't want to use bronzer or you don't have bronzer, you can go in with your lighter color, the lighter one that we just used to brighten, and just lightly dab and bring that along your chin here, your jawline. And that just helps transition so it's not completely dark there. I mean, anywhere you want to use your lighter color, you can. Alrighty. All right, so now we are going to go in with our lip and cheek color. I'm going to use Ruby, this very pretty red pink. Just smile, okay, right there. All right, take your brush, kind of more so. Dab it in. Because it's a cream, it's so beautiful and it looks so natural. I mean, I think it does. All right, you can also use that on your lips. I'll be honest, I don't feel like it stays all day. So I usually use it just initially and then touch up a chapstick or a lip gloss or lipstick throughout the day. Okay, and then if you have bronzer, my favorite part, I love the bronzer. Your bronzer just fits in your compact as well if you have it. If you don't, go get it, it's amazing. I'm gonna use the blush and bronzer brush for the bronzer. You can use your brush if you want to, and I did for a long time, totally fine. All right, I'm just gonna dab it. It's so easy. Dab it, and this goes on the tops of your forehead here. Just where you would typically get a sunburn is where you'll put the bronzer. And then I kind of make a 3. And then like I mentioned earlier, I bring it down my neck just to help it all blend together. All right, now this side. And it's not orangey or glittery, which I like. It just looks like a natural bronzy glow. Alrighty, down my neck. If you're wearing like my dress here, I will usually bring it up top, up here. just so everything's nice and smooth transition-wise. Okay. So, I mean, that's really it there. Of course, we have eyeshadows too. If you have eyeshadows, you could go ahead and put that on. A lot of people will put it on first, of course, so it doesn't drop down into your makeup, but just for the sake of the video, I'll show you. Alrighty. Alrighty. And then if you got illuminator, the illuminator is what a lot of the makeup world calls highlights. It's like a glowy. It gives you a nice little glow. You'll put that on the tops of your cheeks here. On really just all the high points of your face. I put it on my nose, right here. And if you want to put it on the tops of your brow bones, you can. On your lips. Alrighty, and then this is where, if you have mature skin or dry skin, you would just stop. If you have oily skin, or if you just want to set with the powder, this is where you would set with the powder. You could set with the setting spray. I love this Codier spun. No matter what you do though, you want to have a damp sponge, and you make sure it's damp, not soaking wet, and you just press that all over. This will help blend and pick up any extra product. This will help everything just press in and stay all day. If you want to use a powder, I don't use it everywhere. I just use it under my eyes a little bit. Which, if you have mature skin, I wouldn't try it. But a lot of times it goes into your fine lines and it just accentuates those. You don't want, powder does, so you don't want to do that. But I get a little oily under my eye, so I do it there. And this, you can get at Walmart, Amazon, it's like $5 and some change. I go down my chin here, and then I take a little of my T-zone and across the corners of my forehead. I love the glow this makeup gives me, so I don't put the powder everywhere, because I like the glow it gives. I feel like it makes me look younger and youthful. So I still keep the glow. Just putting powder in the areas I get a little oily. Alrighty, if you don't like the glowy do look though, powder, you can powder everywhere, that's fine. Preference, everybody has their own opinions. And that is it. If you see anything flaky, let me know. First exfoliate. If that doesn't help, then let me know, because it's typically a color issue. We need to go darker. If your color is too dark and it doesn't match, let me know about that too. Of course, we can get it fixed and corrected for you. And if there's just something you're not liking, let me know. We'll fix it up. We'll find out what's going on, but it should go on so nice, so smooth, give you a nice dewy look. Yeah, simple as that. If you notice I didn't use a primer, with this makeup, you really don't need one. I don't use one. A lot of people don't use one. If you just want to or have to, just make sure it's silicone free. That's the biggest thing. You just want to make sure there's no silicone base, because that will make your makeup just slippery, because that silicone gives it like a slippery base. But other than that, you can use any setting spray you want. I don't use a setting spray typically. I just use the powder. But I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you have questions, message me. Super simple. As you use it more and more, you will get better and better, I promise. Have a great day.